Let's open the Bible, Ephesians chapter 5.
Kaya buksan po natin ang ating mga Biblia sa Efeso Kapitulo 5.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 16.
Sa Efeso po, Kapitulo 5, versikulo 16.
Basahin po natin ng sabay-sabay, 3, 2, 1.
Na sinasamantala ang panahon sapagkat ang mga araw ay masasama.
Redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Na sinasamantala ang panahon sapagkat ang mga araw ay masasama.
The days are evil means there are so many temptation of Satan at the end time.
Ang mga araw ay masasama, ibig sabihin po neto na sa huling panahon ay maraming temptasyon si Satanas.
That's why we can easily waste the time.
Kaya madali po nating sinasayang yung ating oras.
Then when we waste the time, we don't have time to serve the Lord and grow up and save the lost souls.
Kapag sinasayang po natin yung ating oras, wala na po tayong oras para gumawa para sa Panginoon at magligtas sa mga ligaw na kaluluwa.
So the strategy of Satan is not just persecuting the Christian not to save the other lost souls.
Yung strategiya po ni Satanas ay hindi lamang tuksohin yung mga ligtas na tao para hindi po sila makapagligtas.
Instead of the persecution, if the Satan make the older Christian waste the time, they don't have a time to save lost souls.
Imbes na pagdurusa, kapag yung mga Kristyano ay sinasayang yung kanilang mga oras, hindi na po sila maaaring makapagligtas.
So making the Christian's time wasted is also the Satan's strategy.
Yung pagsasayang ng mga Kristyano ng kanilang oras ay yun din po yung strategiya ni Satanas.
Let's look at the 1 Thessalonians chapter 5.
Kaya tingnan po natin sa unang Tesalonica, Kapitulo 5.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 14.
Unang Tesalonica, Kapitulo 5, versikulo 14.
Would you read?
Mga kapatid, aming isinasama sa inyo na inyong pangaralan ang mga tamad, palakasin ang mahihinang loob, alalayan ang mga mahihina, at maging matiisin kayo sa lahat.
The Thessalonian church is a very good example.
Yung iglesia po ng Tesalonica ay sila'y magandang halimbawa.
Even though they have many persecutions, they endure all difficulties.
Kahit na marami po silang kahirapan, pinagtitiisan po nila ang lahat ng mga ito.
And they support the Apostle Paul to preach the gospel.
At sinusuportahan po nila si Apostol Pablo sa pangangaral ng Ebanghelyo.
But in Thessalonian church, there is the brethren who have a problem.
Pero sa iglesia ng Tesalonica, meron pong ilang mga kapatiran na merong problema.
They thought the Jesus' second coming is near, that's why they don't need to work and study.
Iniisip po nila na papalapit na yung pagdating ng Panginoong Hesus, kaya hindi na po sila kailangan mag-aral at magtrabaho.
They just want to focus on the evangelism and the Christian life only.
Na dapat magtuon lamang sila sa pangangaral ng Ebanghelyo at sa kanilang buhay Kristiyano.
That was not the will of God.
Hindi po yun yung kalooban po ng Diyos.
God's will is until Jesus' second coming, God wants us to work hard even in this world.
Yung kalooban po ng Diyos hanggang sa dumating yung Panginoong Hesus, na kailangan po nating gumawa para sa Kanya.
So in this verse 14, we exhort you, brethren, those who are unruly, those who are unruly,
Kaya po
it
dito
means not controlled.
Kaya sabi po dito, mga kapatid, aming sinasama sa inyo na inyong pangaralan mga tamad, palakasin ang mga hihinang loob.
So they are the problem, they cause the problems in the church.
Sila po yung gumagawa ng problema sa loob po ng iglesia.
The unruly means not controlled or not ordered.
Yung mahihina po, ibig sabihin po neto ay walang kontrol o wala sa kaayusan.
So sometimes our heart or our emotion is not controlled.
Kung minsan yung ating puso ay hindi po natin makontrol.
So look at the Cain.
Tingnan niyo po si Cain.
When he got angry, he couldn't control his anger, so he killed Abel.
Si Cain po, nung hindi niya po makontrol yung kanyang galit, pinatay niya po si Abel.
Look at Saul.
Tingnan niyo po si Saul.
He was so jealous to David.
Talagang nagsiselos po siya kay Haring David.
He didn't control his envy, envy. So he wasted all his life.
Kaya po hindi niya po makontrol yung kanyang pagsaselos, kaya sinayang niya po yung kanyang buong buhay.
So if we don't control our emotion, we waste the time.
Kaya kung hindi po natin makontrol yung ating emosyon, sinasayang po natin yung ating oras.
And some people some people don't control the money.
At kung minsan yung ibang mga tao, hindi po nila nakokontrol yung kanilang pera.
So one day, in the day they receive the salary, they almost spend half.
Kaya sa araw na matanggap po nila yung kanilang sweldo, ginagastos na po nila yung kalahati po dito.
They order many things, they go out for the dinner, they waste the money.
Bumibili sila ng kung ano-manong bagay, kung kumakain sila, sinasayang po nila yung kanilang mga pera.
So the life which is unruly, not control, about the money, about the emotion, is not the will of God.
Kaya yung hindi pagkontrol sa ating pera, sa ating emosyon, ay hindi po yun yung kalooban po ng Diyos.
And today, we're gonna study the life which is not controlled about time.
Kaya ngayon po, pag-aaralan po natin yung buhay na hindi kinokontrol yung kanilang oras.
Samson wasted all his life because of a sin.
Kaya si Samson, sinayang niya po yung kanyang oras dahil sa kasalanan.
So even though he received the great power, he wasted all his life.
Kaya kahit na nakatanggap po siya ng malaking kapangyarihan, sinayang lang niya po yung kanyang buhay.
So his life is really sayang.
Kaya yung kanyang buhay po ay napakasayang.
In Exodus, the Pharaoh, even though the Moses asked, until when we stop the God's judgment, he said, from tomorrow.
Kaya po sa Exodus, nung tinanong po ni Moises yung Parao, hanggang kailan kami mag-aantay? Sabi po niya, hanggang bukas.
So he delayed the chance to be saved.
Kaya po, dinedelay niya po yung tsansa para maligtas.
So if we don't control our time, our life becomes a vanity.
Kaya kung di po natin kukontrolin yung ating oras, yung ating buhay ay sinasayang po natin.
When we stand before God, we cannot bring anything.
Kaya kapag tayo humarap sa Diyos, wala po tayong madadalang anuman.
So we have to think about seriously time management.
Kaya dapat po nating pag-isipan yung paggamit ng tama sa ating oras.
We have many roles.
Kaya marami po tayong mga gawain.
We work in the workplace, and we are children in the house, and we have many ministry in the church.
Kaya tayo nagtatrabaho, tayo anak sa ating pamilya, at marami po tayong ministeryo sa loob ng iglesia.
Sometimes we are confused how to make the balance between these roles.
Kung minsan nalilito po tayo kung paano po natin babalansehin yung ating mga gampanin.
So when we work, we think about, we have a Bible seminar, we have a fellowship, I have to go.
Kaya kapag tayo nasa trabaho, iniisip po natin, meron tayong Bible seminar, kailangan ko nang umalis.
Then when we are in the church, we think, how to finish my assignment.
Kahit kung nasa loob naman tayo ng iglesia, iniisip natin, paano ko tatapusin yung aking assignment?
So sometimes, when we stay in the church, the work is for the work, the church activity is the excuse.
Kaya kung minsan, kung nasa loob po tayo ng iglesia, yung mga gawain sa trabaho, yung ating nagiging dahilan.
But for the church work, for the church activity, sometimes the work or study is the excuse.
At kung minsan naman po, kung tayo nasa loob ng iglesia, yung ating mga gawain sa pag-aaral at sa pagtatrabaho ay ating dahilan.
So sometimes we say, because of study, because of work, I cannot work for the Lord.
Kaya kung minsan sinasabi natin dahil sa pag-aaral, dahil sa pagtatrabaho, hindi ko kayang gumawa para sa Panginoon.
Sometimes we say, because of the church activity, I cannot work hard and I cannot study.
At kung minsan sinasabi natin dahil sa church, hindi tayo makapagtrabaho ng maayos at hindi tayo makapag-aral.
Before we make the excuse, we have to check ourselves how to use our time.
At kung bago po tayo magdahilan sa ating sarili, kailangan po natin isipin kung paano po natin ginagamit yung ating oras.
Everyone receive the 24 hours every day. That is a gift.
Kaya lahat po ng tao ay nakakatanggap ng 24 oras sa loob ng isang araw. Ito po yung biyaya.
Depending on how we use that 24 hours every day, our future and our Christian life, our fruits will be different.
At kung paano po natin ginagamit yung ating 24 oras, ay magiging resulta po neto yung ating kinabukasan, yung ating buhay Kristiyano.
So first of all, about the time management, The first thing we should remember or learn is quality of time. How to use the time is much more important than the quantity of time.
Kaya sa unang parte po, kung paano po natin gagamitin ng tama yung ating oras, dapat po nating isipin yung kalidad ng oras na ating ginagamit kumpara sa dami ng oras.
We always focus on the how many hours we have.
Lagi po nating iniisip kung gaano karaming oras na lang yung meron po tayo.
But we don't care how much we focus in given time.
Pero di po natin pinag-iisipan kung gaano po tayo nakapokus sa oras na iyon.
Jesus was so busy.
Si Jesus po ay napakaabala.
But early in the morning, he woke up and he prayed and prepared the one day.
Pero sa madaling araw pa lamang, gumigising na po siya at naghahanda na para sa buong
And
araw.
he counseled so many people and he visited so many villages.
Kaya nagka-counseling po siya ng maraming tao at binibisita yung maraming mga bayan.
And he shared so many words.
At nagbabahagi ng maraming mga salita.
Every day he did it
Araw-araw, ginagawa niya po yon.
until he died on the cross.
Hanggang sa mamatay po siya doon sa krus.
So he could finish his ministry well, not because he has more time, but because he focused on his given time.
Kaya natapos niya po yung kanyang gawain, hindi dahil mas marami yung kanyang oras, kundi dahil ginagamit niya yung oras ng nakatuon dun sa ginagawa niya.
Let's look at the 1 Corinthians chapter 4.
Kaya tingnan po natin sa unang Korinto, Kapitulo 4.
1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7.
Sa unang Korinto, Kapitulo 4, versikulo 7.
Verse 7. Basahin po natin ng sabay-sabay. 3, 2, 1.
Sapagkat sino ang nakakakita ng kaibahan mo at ano ang nasa iyo na hindi mo tinanggap at kung tinatanggap mo, bakit mo ipinagmamalaki na parang hindi mo tinanggap?
What do you have that you did not receive?
Ano ang nasa iyo na hindi mo tinanggap?
Everything is given by God, even the time.
Lahat po ay binibigay ng Diyos. Gawin din po sa ating oras.
So what if we receive the 24,000 peso every day?
Paano lang po kung natatanggap po tayo ng 24,000 na pera araw-araw?
Important thing is, if we don't spend, we cannot save. We cannot save it. We have to spend it.
Hindi po natin ito maitatabi, dapat po lang natin itong gastusin.
Then, sayang if we don't spend it.
Sayang po kapag hindi po natin ito gagamitin.
Everyone received the 24 hours.
Lahat po ng tao ay nakakatanggap ng 24 oras.
If they don't use it, sayang.
Kung hindi po nila gagamitin ito, sayang lang.
They cannot save it until tomorrow.
Hindi ito nila maitatabi, nagagamitin po nila bukas.
So, usually, there is some case like this. In the morning, the afternoon, some people waste so much time.
Kaya meron po isang kaso po dito, sa umaga at sa tanghali, yung ibang tao ay sinasayang yung kanilang oras.
Then in the evening, when they check, they don't do anything in
At-
that day.
Kaya kasi kapag gabi na po, tinicheck po nila kung ano po yung ginawa nila at tinisip nila wala silang nagawa.
So they feel guilty.
Kaya nagigilty po sila sa kanilang puso.
So even from the evening, they try to do something. They read the Bible or do something.
Kaya sa gabi, ginagawa na po nila yung kanilang gawain, yung pagbabasa ng Biblia,
So they cannot sleep well.
at hindi po sila makatulog ng maayos.
And next day, they are tired.
At kinabukasan, pagod na sila.
That's why they cannot focus on the work in the day.
Kaya hindi na po sila makatuon sa kanilang pagtatrabaho sa araw.
That's why they waste so much time.
Kaya sinasayang nila yung kanilang mga oras.
And in the evening, when they check, they didn't do many things.
Kaya sa kinagabihan, kapag sinusuri po nila, wala silang anumang nagawa.
So reduce the sleeping time and the work,
Kaya binabawasan nila yung kanilang oras at kanilang pagtatrabaho.
and they are tired more.
At mas lalo silang napapagod.
That's why it's getting worse and worse.
Kaya palala po ito ng palala.
When I was a youth, many youth asked the Pastor Hong Jung-yeon, how many hours he sleep?
Kaya po, nung ako po ay nasa kabataan pa, meron pong mga kapatiran na nagtanong kay Pastor Hong na sinasabi nila, ilang oras ka natutulog?
Because we know he is super busy.
Kasi alam po namin na siya po'y talaga'y napakaabala.
And he had to prepare so many sermons.
At kailangan niya pong maghanda ng napakaraming mga sermon.
So we thought he sleep maybe 2 hours or 3 hours.
Kaya iniisip namin, mga 2 o 3 oras lang siguro siya natutulog.
Then he said, I sleep 8 hours.
Pero sabi po niya, 8 oras ako natutulog.
Every gosh, 8 hours?
Kaya lahat po ay nagulat, 8 oras.
Then he said, before you reduce the sleeping time, you have to learn how to focus on how to concentrate your time in the day.
Kaya bago mo po bawasan yung tulog mo, kailangan isipin mo muna kung paano ka po magkakaroon ng pagpo-focus doon sa oras o sa araw na iyon.
If you cannot use your time effectively in the night, you waste more time.
Kaya kung di mo nagagamit ng epektibo yung inyong oras sa kinagabihan, marami pong oras na sasayangin.
Let's look at the Matthew chapter 25,
Kaya tingnan po natin sa Mateo, Kapitulo 25,
verses 19 and 20.
versikulo 19 hanggang 20.
19 and 20, would you read?
Verse 19 to 20 po. Pagkalipas ng mahabang panahon, dumating ang Panginoon na aliping iyon at nakipag-ayos sa kanila. Ang tumanggap ng 5 talento ay lumapit at nagdala ng 5 pang talento na nagsasabi, Panginoon, binigyan mo ako ng 5 talento, heto ako'y nakinabang ng 5 pang talento.
So, when we stand before God, when Jesus comes again, He will check how we spend our time, how much we focus on our given time.
Kaya kapag tayo humarap sa Diyos, kapag dumating na yung Panginoong Jesus, susuruin niya po kung gaano po natin ginamit yung ating mga oras.
He will check the verse 19. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled the account with them. Account with them.
Kaya sabi po sa verse 19, pagkalipas ng mahabang panahon, dumating ang Panginoon ng mga aliping iyon at nakipag-ayos sa kanila.
So before we reduce the time to sleep or time to sleep or time to take a rest, we have to learn how to focus on how to use our time with concentration or effectively.
Kaya bago po natin bawasan yung oras ng ating pagtulog, kailangan po natin isipan kung paano po natin ginagamit yung oras ng tama.
Let's look at the Psalm number 90.
Kaya tingnan po natin sa mga awit, Kapitulo 19.
Psalm number 90, verse 12.
Mga awit, Kapitulo 90 po, verse 12.
Basahin po natin ng sabay-sabay. 3, 2, 1.
Kaya turuan mo kami na bilangin ang aming mga araw upang kami ay magkaroon ng pusong may karunungan.
This psalm is written by Moses.
Kaya yung awit po na ito ay sinulat ni Moises.
He died at 120 years old.
Siya po ay namatay nung nasa 120 na siya na taon.
Then he said, teach us the number our days.
At kaya't sinabi po niya, turuan mo kami na bilangin ang aming mga araw.
It means our life, he wants everyone to learn our life is so short and fast.
Kaya't ninanais niya po na turuan yung mga tao na yung ating buhay ay napakabilis at napakaiksi lamang.
When I was a youth, I thought I never been 30 years old.
Nung ako po ay nasa kabataan, iniisip ko po na hindi ako tutungtong sa 30 taong gulang.
But I already became 30, 40. Now, I'm going to 50.
Pero ako ay nasa 30 hanggang 40 at ngayon papunta na sa 50.
So fast.
Napakabilis po.
So if we waste the time without doing anything for the Lord, we already become 30, 40, 50, and we stand before God.
Kaya kung sinasayang po natin yung ating oras at hindi tayo gumagawa para sa Panginoon, lilipas yung 30, 40, 50 at tayo harap sa Diyos.
For example, you go to the kitchen,
Isang halimbawa, pumunta ka po sa kusina.
then faucet is open, so the water is running.
Kahit yung gripo ay nakabukas, kaya tumutulo po doon yung tubig.
What do you do?
ano pong gagawin nyo?
Close it because it's sayang.
Sasarado nyo po dahil sayang.
Then when you check your life, the time is running and wasting.
At kapag sinuri po natin yung ating buhay, yung ating oras ay dumadaloy at nasasayang.
Then the 1 second, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 year, 2 years, it's just passed and running away.
Isang segundo, isang minuto, isang araw, isang linggo, isang taon, kaya patuloy lamang po itong tumatakbo.
What do you do?
Anong ginagawa mo?
We have to tightly close and check. And whenever we need the water, we need to open it, right?
Kaya kailangan po nating isarado ito at suriin at i-check po natin.
Effectively, we have to use our time.
Kaya ng epektibo, kailangan po natin gamitin ng tama yung ating oras.
So depending on the how much we focus on our time, it can be 1 hour or 5 hours.
Kaya depende kung gaano po tayo nakatuon sa ating oras, yun po minsan 1 oras o 5 oras.
When I was a college student, I should lead the many fellowship and the counseling.
Nung ako po high school na estudyante, kinakailangan ko pong mag-lead sa mga fellowship at mga counseling.
That's why I want to quit my study.
Kaya ninanais ko na umalis na sa pag-aaral ko.
I just want to focus on the saving losers.
Ninanais ko lang na magtuon dun sa pagliligtas ng mga ligaw na
But
kaluluwa.
at the time, the pastor says, you want to evangelize only this time? You have to, if you want to continue to evangelize, you have to also study hard.
Kaya yung isang pastor ay nagsabi sa akin, ninanais mo lang ba mag-evangelize ngayon? Kaya kung ninanais mo mag-evangelize ng higit pa, kailangan mo mag-aral.
So from that time, I really realized in order to save more losers, I need to study hard and I need to get a job and I need to work hard.
Kaya noong mga oras na yun, napag-isipan ko po na kailangan ko mag-aral ng mabuti, magtrabaho at kumita ng pera upang magamit sa pagliligtas ng ligaw na kaluluwa.
But I don't have enough time.
Pero wala akong sapat na oras.
So once I have once I have a time, I really focus on my study.
Kaya kapag meron po akong sapat na oras, talagang nagtutuon po ako sa aking pag-aaral.
First of all, while I'm taking the class, I already summarize in another note.
Kaya sa tuwing nag-aaral po ako, naglalagay po ako ng notes bago pa mag-aaral.
So in the class, I was so busy study and summarize and then when it's done, I already have the summary.
Kaya talagang napakabala ko na nagsusulat ako habang nag-lecture. Kaya meron akong summary.
6 a.m. I was in the library in college.
Sa 6 a.m. pa lang, nandun ako sa library sa school.
And 8 to 9, we have a quiet time with other brethren.
At 8 to 9, meron po kaming quiet time sa mga kapatiran.
And after all the classes, if I have 2 hours or 3 hours before fellowship, my heart was pounding. I have 3 hours, I'm gonna finish everything.
Kaya sa pagtatapos po ng aking pag-aaral, kung meron pa akong natitirang 2 o 3 oras, talagang nasasabik yung aking puso.
Then every day, I studied more than all my friends.
Kaya araw-araw, talagang ako'y nag-aaral ng husto higit sa aking mga kaibigan.
They could study until the midnight,
Sila po'y kaya nila mag-aral hanggang sa hating gabi.
but they study like this.
Pero nag-aaral po sila ng ganito.
And you want coffee? Okay, let's go.
Gusto mo ba ng
Then
kape?
they waste 30 minutes, 1 hour, and come back and.
Kaya sinasayang nila yung kanilang oras at bumabalik.
To me, I don't have enough time because I have to go to church.
Para sa akin, wala akong sapat na oras dahil kailangan ko pang pumunta sa church.
So when I have 1 hour, I want to finish everything.
Kaya kapag meron akong 1 oras, kinakailangan kong matapos kaagad.
Even while I'm working, I studied.
Kaya habang ako'y nagtatrabaho, nag-aaral din po ako.
When I came to the church, I studied until I start the fellowship.
At sa loob ng iglesia, ako po'y nag-aaral bago po magsimula yung fellowship.
That's why I got the scholarship.
At kaya ako'y nakatanggap ng scholarship.
I was a top in my subject, in my what do you call major, in my major.
Kaya ako po'y nasa top sa aking mga major.
So my friend didn't believe me. I went to the church.
Kaya yung mga kaibigan ko, hindi po sila naniniwala na ako'y pumupunta sa iglesia.
They thought I went somewhere to study again.
Iniisip po nila na pupunta ako sa isang lugar at doon nag-aaral.
We also prepared the boarding exam or other big exams.
Kaya-
Always I studied more than my friends.
Kaya kami rin po yung naghahanda para sa mga exam, sa mga boarding exam. Pero ako yung naghahanda higit sa mga aking kaibigan.
That time I really learned, how to use or how to focus on the study or time. It's much more important than how many hours, how much time we have.
Kaya na-realize ko po na kung paano po natin ginagamit yung ating oras ay higit na mahalaga kumpara sa dami ng bilang na oras na meron po tayo.
So in Gwangju Church, we have we listen the choir team, the Gwangju Church. In Gwangju Church, I heard that before. If the high school or college brethren don't get the scholarship, the pastor have the counseling.
Kaya narinig ko po doon sa Gwangju Church na kapag yung high school na kapatiran ay hindi nakakuha ng scholarship, siya po ay ka-counseling.
Brother, why you don't study hard? What's the problem?
Kapatid, bakit hindi ka nag-aaral ng gusto? Anong problema?
Of course, they always attend the church and they should study hard.
Opo, lagi po silang dumadalo sa church at kinakailangan din po nila mag-aral ng higit pa.
Because youth time never come back.
Dahil yung oras sa kabataan na hindi po ito babalik.
Let's look at the Ecclesiastes.
Kaya tingnan po natin sa
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1.
Sa Ecclesiastes po, chapter 12, verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Basahin po natin ng sabay-sabay. 3, 2, 1.
Alalahanin mo rin naman ang lumikha sa iyo sa mga araw ng iyong kabataan bago dumating ang masasamang araw. At ang mga taon ay lumakit na iyong sasabihin, wala akong kasiyahan sa mga iyon.
In the days of your youth,
Kaya sabi po sa mga araw ng iyong kabataan,
the youth time is the time to blossom the flowers in the life.
kaya yung araw ng kabataan, yun po yung gaya ng pamumulaklak ng mga halaman.
The youth time is the most powerful and the most the wisest and the beautiful time in the world.
Kaya
Not in the life.
Kaya yung araw ng kabataan, yun po yung makapangyarihan at pinakamagandang panahon sa ating buhay.
It never come back.
Hindi po yun babalik.
That's why Bible says, remember now your Creator in the days of your youth, before the difficult days come. Before you get old, you have to remember how much precious your youth time is.
Kaya sabi po, alalahanin mo rin naman na lumikha sa iyo sa mga araw ng iyong kabataan bago dumating ang masamang araw. Ibig sabihin, bago ka po dumating sa pagkatanda, dapat isipin mo yung araw ng iyong kabataan.
Depending on what you study in your youth time, your Christian life will be totally different.
Kaya depende sa inyong pinag-aaralan sa inyong kabataan, yung inyong buhay Kristiyano ay mababago.
Depending on how much you effectively use your time in the youth, your Christian life, your fruit will be totally different.
Kaya kung gaano niyo po ginagamit ng tama yung oras ninyo sa kabataan, yung inyong bunga ay talagang mababago.
So once the time pass, it never come back.
Kaya kapag yung oras ay lumipas na, hindi na po ito babalik.
So here is the poem of the value of time.
Kaya meron po ditong tula nung sa pagpapahalaga sa oras.
It really touched my heart.
Talagang pinukaw po neto yung aking puso.
If you want to know the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed one semester.
Kaya kung ninanais mo malaman yung value ng isang taon, tanungin mo yung isang estudyante na bumagsak sa isang semestre.
To know the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth to a premature baby 1 month ago.
Kung ninanais mo na malaman yung kalidad ng isang buwan, kinakailangan mong tanungin yung nanay na nagsilang ng premature na bata.
If you want to know the value of 1 week, ask a editor of weekly newspaper.
At kung ninanais mo malaman ng yung value ng isang linggo, tanungin mo yung gumagawa ng dyaryo kada linggo.
If you want to know the value of 1 hour, ask someone who is waiting for lover.
Kaya kung ninanais mo malaman yung value ng isang oras, tanungin mo yung tao na naghahantay sa kanyang minamahal.
To know the value of 1 minute, ask a person who just missed the train.
At kung ninanais mo malaman yung value ng isang minuto, tanungin mo yung isang tao na naiwan ng tren.
To know the value of 1 second, ask someone who narrowly escaped an accident.
Kaya kung ninanais mo malaman yung value ng isang segundo, tanungin mo yung isang tao na muntik nang mamatay.
Through the 1 minute, if he is late 1 minute, the car crushed him.
Kaya kung na-late siya ng isang minuto, yung sasakyan ay babangga sa kanya.
Because of 1 second, he was saved.
Dahil sa isang segundo, siya po ay ligtas.
So, 1 second, 1 minute, 1 year, all moments is so precious.
Kaya yung isang segundo, isang minuto, isang araw, isang taon, lahat po nito ay napakahalaga.
Because of 0.1 second, the gold medal, silver medal is changing.
Dahil sa 0.1 na segundo, yung gold or silver medal ay nababago.
So, if we waste the time, we will be so regretful when we stand before God.
Kaya kapag sinasayang po natin yung ating oras, tayo po talaga magsisisi pag tayo humarap sa Diyos.
So, first of all, we have to use our time and focus on our time, use our time effectively and concentrate on our time.
Kaya dapat po natin gamitin ng tama yung ating oras at dapat magtuon po tayo sa ating oras.
Don't waste even 1 minute.
Huwag niyo pong sayangin kahit na isang minuto.
And how can we make the balance work of the work in the workplace and work of the church and the study and the church work?
Kaya paano po natin babalansehin yung ating oras sa pagtatrabaho at sa ating buhay kristyano at pag-aaral at sa ating buhay kristyano?
Paano po?
Paano po?
The best way is when we don't waste the time, we do our best to both way. Then we know how to make a balance.
Kaya yung pinakamainam na paraan kapag
First of all, we must not waste the time.
una po, dapat po natin di sayangin yung ating oras.
And when we do our best to when we do the both work in the workplace or study and the church work with our best, we know how to make a balance.
Kaya kung ginagawa po natin yung lahat ng ating makakaya sa lahat ng ating gawain, alam po natin kung paano po ito babalansehin.
So sometimes, many cases, we waste the time. That's why we cannot do both way.
Kaya marami pong kaso na sinasayang nila yung kanilang oras, kaya hindi po nila nagagawa yung dalawang gawain.
We waste the time for watching TV or SNS or the Facebook. That's why we don't have enough time to study or to finish our task. Or if we don't have enough time to finish our work, we don't have enough time to join the church activity.
Kaya nagsasayang po tayo ng ating oras sa panonood ng TV, sa paggamit ng sa ating cellphone at sa mga social media, kaya hindi na po natin nagagawa yung iba pang gawain po natin sa church.
But if we don't waste the time, then when we do our best to both way, God will help us to make a balance naturally.
Pero kapag hindi po natin sinasayang yung ating oras at ginagawa po natin lahat ng ating makakaya sa dalawang gawain, tutulungan po tayo ng Diyos na magawa ito.
So, this time I always attend the church, so I need to work more, so we can work more.
Kaya ngayon nandito ako sa church para gumawa para sa Panginoon, kaya kailangan kong gumawa para magawa yung ibang mga bagay.
Do I have to focus on the work only or study only? I need to attend the church more.
Kaya kailangan ko lang ba gawin yung mga gawain sa pagtatrabaho at sa pag-aaral? Kinakailangan ko rin gawin yung mga gawain sa church.
So if we don't waste the time, through this process, we can find the balance.
Kaya kapag hindi po natin sinasayang yung ating oras, magagawa po nating balansehin yung dalawang gawain.
So if we don't waste the time, God guide us to make a balance when we do our best in both way, naturally.
Kaya kapag hindi po natin sinasayang yung ating oras at tayo po'y gagabayan ng Diyos para magawa yung ating gawain, kapag ginagawa po natin ito ng lahat ng ating makakaya.
Let's look at the Ephesians chapter 5.
Kaya tingnan po natin sa Efeso Kapitulo 5,
Let's go back to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15.
sa versikulo 15.
15 to 17, would you read?
Kaya't maging maingat kayo sa inyong paglakad, hindi gaya ng mga mangmang, kundi gaya ng marurunong, na sinasamantala ang panahon sapagkat ang mga araw ay masasama. Kaya't huwag kayong maging mga hangal, kundi unawain ninyo kung ano ang kalooban ng Panginoon.
The verse 17, understand what the will of the Lord is.
Kaya sa verse 17, kundi unawain ninyo kung ano ang kalooban ng Panginoon.
So for the time management, we have to make sure what is the purpose of this time.
Kaya sa pagbabalanse ng tama sa ating oras, kailangan po nating malaman ano yung kahalagahan ng oras na iyon.
And also, we have to make sure what is the priority.
At kailangan din po nating malaman kung ano po yung prioridad po natin.
So we have to check, is it really necessary?
Kaya kailangan po nating suriin, kinakailangan ba talaga ito?
Is it really necessary to save the lost souls or to serve the church?
Kinakailangan ba talaga na magligtas ng ligaw na kaluluwa at maglingkod sa church?
In the work also, we cannot do everything whatever our boss asks.
Kaya sa ating pinagtatrabahuhan, dapat po nating malaman na hindi dapat natin lahat gawin kung ano po yung pinapagawa sa atin.
So we have to check, is it really obligation or not?
Kailangan po natin pag-isipan, kinakailangan ko ba talagang gawin ito o hindi?
Do I have to sacrifice my fellowship to do this work? We have to check it.
Kinakailangan ko ba talagang isakripisyo yung fellowship para tapusin yung gawain nito? Kailangan po natin suriin.
If we are not confused of the purpose of the time and the priority, we are so waste the time, even though we work hard.
Kaya kung tayo nalilito kung ano po yung dapat natin gawin, sinasayang po natin yung ating oras sa paggawa ng anumang bagay.
So, the working hard, of course, is important, and focusing, using our time effectively is also important. But at the same time, we make sure what is the purpose of this work and what is the priority.
Kaya yung paggawa sa mga gawain, kailangan po ito. Pero kailangan po natin pag-isipan, ano ba yung prioridad po natin? Ano po talaga yung kinakailangan po natin?
So we have to remove unnecessary task or not urgent task.
Kaya kailangan po natin tanggalin yung mga hindi kinakailangan na gawain o hindi kinakailangan kaagad na gawin.
Even in the church, we have to make a priority well.
At maging sa loob ng iglesia, kinakailangan po natin magkaroon ng prioridad.
Sometimes we joined all the activity. That's why we cannot join the activity, work of God, which really needs me.
Kaya kuminsan, sinasamahan po natin yung lahat ng gawain at hindi na po tayo nakakadalo sa isang gawain na kinakailangan talaga tayo doon.
Do you understand? For example, honestly, in Korea, sharing the sermon about Bible Academy, maybe pastors, maybe once in their life, they share the sermon about Bible Academy, one book.
Kaya sa
That
Korea,
much is very rare because we have to summarize one book in 1 or 2 hours. So we have to study very hard.
Kaya sa Korea po, yung mga pastor po doon, isang beses sa isang taon lang sila nagkakaroon ng Bible Academy. Kaya ganun na lamang po sila nag-aaral ng salita ng Diyos sa Biblia.
So among pastors, the first sermon, or what do we call it? All the pastors wants to avoid is the Bible Academy actually.
Kaya sa lahat ng pastor, yung kanilang iniiwasan ay yung Bible Academy.
Because they have to prepare so much time, but it's finished 1 or 2 hours. It should be done 1 or 2 hours.
Dahil kinakailangan po nilang gumugol ng mahabang oras at kinakailangan po nilang tapusin ng 1 o 2 oras.
But every month, that is my task.
Pero kada buwan, yun po yung aking gawain.
Is there anyone who can share Bible Academy instead of me?
Meron ba dyan nakakaalam kung paano mag-share ng Bible Academy?
Anyway, then, what if I join all the other activity?
Kaya paano na lang po kung sinasalihan ko lahat ng mga gawain?
Marketing, I join. Cooking. Of course, if I join, it's good. But what about Bible Academy? What about other sermons? What about other counseling? So if I don't make up my priority, I cannot do my work well.
Kaya pwede akong sumama sa marketing, sa cooking, pero kapag hindi ko uunahin yung pinakamahalagang bagay, hindi ko po ito kayang magagawa.
나인tindihan po? So you have your ministry and your position in the church.
Kaya meron po kayong ministeryo at posisyon niyo sa loob ng iglesia.
Of course, if you join all the activity, all the work of God, that is good if you can.
Opo, maganda po kung nasasalihan niyo yung lahat ng gawain, kung yun yung kalooban po ng Diyos.
But if you have a lot of tasks in the work or study, you have to make a priority very well.
Pero kung meron ka pong maraming gawain sa inyong pagtatrabaho at pag-aaral, kailangan mong balansehin yung inyong oras.
So for visiting, and for serving brethren, and for the other ministry, you have to make a priority well, and then you do the first priority first.
Kaya sa pagbisita sa mga kapatiran, sa paggawa ng inyong ministeryo, kailangan nyo magkaroon ng prioridad at kailangan nyo itong pagplanuhan.
Otherwise, in order to do the other task, you cannot do the first priority work.
Dahil kung yun yung gagawin ninyo, yung gawain na kailangan yung gawin ay hindi nyo na magagawa.
So when you decide, you have to discuss with the other leaders.
Kaya
Because the chief leader knows what is the much more important. He knows how to arrange the task with other members.
Kaya kapag kayo magdidesisyon, kinakailangan nyo magkaroon ng fellowship sa mga leader upang malaman ninyo kung ano po yung pinakamainam na gagawin.
나인tindihan po? So, let's look at the Nehemiah chapter 2.
Kaya tingnan po natin sa Nehemias, Kapitulo 2.
Nehemiah chapter 2. In order to build the temple, he came from the Babylon.
Kaya upang gawin po
In order to make the wall of the Jerusalem, he came from Babylon.
Kaya upang gawin po yung pader ng Jerusalem, kinakailangan niya po, pumunta po siya galing sa Babylonia.
In chapter 2, verses 17 and 18.
Kaya sa Kapitulo 2, versikulo 17 hanggang 18,
Would you read?
pagkatapos ay sinabi ko sa kanila, nakikita ninyo ang magulong kalagayan natin, kung paanong ang Jerusalem ay guho at ang mga pintuan nito ay nasunog. Halikayo, itayo natin ang pader ng Jerusalem upang hindi na tayo magdanas ng kahihiyan. Sinabi ko sa kanila ang tungkol sa kamay ng aking Diyos na naging mabuti sa akin at gayon din ang salitang sinabi sa akin ng hari. At kanilang sinabi, magsimula na tayong magtayo, kaya't itinalaga nila ang kanilang mga sarili para sa ikabubuti ng lahat.
He encouraged all Israel people to work to join the work of God.
Kaya hinikayat niya po yung lahat ng mga Israelita na sumali sa gawain ng Diyos.
Then when you read the chapter 3, he gave all the task, all different tasks, depending on the tribes and the family.
Kaya kung babasahin niyo po sa Kapitulo 3, binigay niya po yung gawain sa lahat ng bawat lipit sa bawat pamilya.
So, effectively, they work all together in their position. That's why only for 52 days, they finish everything.
Kaya po nang may epektibo, ginawa po nila yung kanilang gawain, kaya sa loob lang ng 52 na araw ay natapos po nila.
So, we have to make sure our priority, and we should make the better plan in advance.
Kaya dapat po natin malaman kung ano po yung ating prioridad at kung ano po yung dapat ating pagplanuhan ng sa hinaharap.
Let's look at the Hebrew chapter 10, verse 39.
Kaya tingnan po natin sa Hebreo, Kapitulo 10, versikulo 39.
Hebrew chapter 10, verse 39.
Mga Hebreo po, Kapitulo 10, versikulo 39.
38 and 39. Basahin po natin ng sabay-sabay. 3, 2, 1.
Ngunit ang aking matuwid na lingkod ay mabubuhay sa pananampalataya, ngunit kung siya ay tumalikod, ang aking kaluluwa ay hindi malulugod sa kanya. Ngunit tayo hindi kabilang sa mga umuurong, kaya't sila'y napapahamak, kundi kabilang sa mga may pananampalataya, kaya't naliligtas.
God doesn't want us to go back,
Kaya ayaw
draw back.
ayaw po ng Diyos na tayo tumalikod.
Sometimes, if we think we don't have enough time and we cannot do these all things at the same together, we give up one by one.
Kaya't kapag iniisip po natin na hindi natin kayang gawin yung lahat ng mga bagay, isa-isa po natin itong itatakwid.
Of course, we cannot do everything.
Opo, hindi po natin kayang gawin yung lahat ng bagay.
That's why we need the other members' help.
Kaya't kinakailangan po natin yung tulong ng ibang mga kapatid.
Also, we need to make a priority.
At kinakailangan din natin gumawa ng ating prioridad.
So even though we cannot do the last list, we can do the first list first.
Kaya kung minsan hindi natin nagagawa yung nasa pinakababang listahan, pero yung nasa taas, kaya po natin itong gawin.
But if we give up one by one because we think we don't have enough time, we cannot do anything, then the Bible says we become depressed,
Pero-
discouraged.
Pero kung ating sinusuko na lamang yung ating gawain ng paisa-isa, kaya tayo po talaga ay manlulumo at panghinaan ng loob.
Drawing back or staying in our place and not going forward is not the will of God.
Kaya yung pagbalik o paghinto kung saan po tayo nakatayo ay hindi po yun yung kalooban po ng Diyos.
When we give up one by one, then we realize that eventually we have so much time.
Kahit kapag paisa-isa po natin itong sinusuko, mauunawaan po natin na meron po talaga tayong oras.
But we don't use that time for the Lord.
Pero hindi po natin ginagamit yung oras para sa Panginoon.
We use that time to commit a sin.
Ginagamit po natin yung oras na iyon para gumawa ng kasalanan.
Then what's the will of God?
Kaya kung ano ba yung kalooban po ng
Of
Diyos?
course, sometimes we need to take a rest.
Opo, kung minsan kinakailangan din po natin na magpahinga.
But the purpose of taking the rest is also when we recover, we want to live for God again.
Kaya yung dahilan yung ating pagpapahinga ay para gumawa ulit para sa Panginoon.
So drawing back to perdition is not the will of God.
Kaya yung pagbalik ay hindi yun yung kalooban po ng Diyos.
We have to go forward.
Kinakailangan po natin
We have to find the way to handle our work.
Kaya kinakailangan po natin malaman kung ano yung paraan para gawin yung kalooban ng Diyos.
When I was a teacher, I was so busy.
Nung ako po isang guro, talagang napakaabala ko.
I have to prepare the many tasks and the class and the many church work.
Maraming task, maraming kailangan gawin, at marami ring gawain sa church.
And I couldn't attend the Wednesday sermon according to my schedule.
At hindi ko na kayang makadalo sa Wednesday sermon dahil sa aking schedule.
But even though I'm late, I always go to the church.
Pero kahit na ako'y late na, pumupunta pa rin ako sa church.
Even though I listen the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I always attend the church because I thought if I don't attend, I'll never attend again.
Kahit na 5 o 10 minutes na lang yung nalalabi sa sermon, dumadalo pa rin po ako dahil iniisip ko na kapag hindi ako dumalo, hindi na ako dadalo talaga sa church.
Even though I'm late to join the Saturday fellowship, youth fellowship, I always attend it because if I stop attending, I thought I never attend the church again.
Kaya kahit na late na po ako na dumalo sa ating Saturday fellowship, ay dumadalo pa rin po ako dahil iniisip ko na kapag hindi ako dadalo, hindi na ako dadalo ng church.
Then amazingly, little by little, I can attend more.
At yung nakakamanghang bagay po dito, paunti-unti, nakakadalo na po ako.
Because I can find the way how to finish my work fast and how to arrange the schedule. Then 30 minutes, 40 minutes, one day, I can attend fully.
Dahil nalalaman ko kung paano ko gagawin ng mas mabilis yung aking gawain, kaya nakakadalo na ako sa di kalaunan sa fellowship.
I prayed more sincerely. Lord, today we have a Wednesday sermon. Please help me.
Kaya talaga ako nananalangin ng taimtim sa Diyos na, Panginoon, meron kaming Wednesday sermon. Ninanais kong pumunta.
I believe that is the will of God. Not drawing back. Not just stop one by one.
Kaya ako po'y naniniwala na yun yung kalooban ng Diyos at hindi yun yung pag-urong.
When my wife was a doctora, many doctors and patients got salvation.
Kaya yung asawa ko po ay doktora, marami pong doktor at mga pasyente yung naliligtas.
Actually, she was super busy.
Talaga pong siya po ay napakaabala.
She told me her wish was if she can sleep with lying down and sleep for 3 hours only, she doesn't have any other wish. That's the only wish.
Kaya yung kanyang kahilingan lang po ay humiga ng 3 oras at yun lang po yung kaisang kahilingan niya.
Sometimes she sleep like 5 minutes and go to check, and 10 minutes go to check, and 1 hour. So her wish is, what if I can sleep for 3 hours in the bed?
Kaya kung minsan 5, 10 o 10 minuto lamang siya nakakatulog, kaya yung kanyang kahilingan makatulog ng 3 oras sa higaan.
Many other brethren who are doctor also work that much hard.
At maraming mga kapatiran na doktor ay ganun din po yung kanilang gawain.
But many people got salvation. How?
Pero maraming tao po ay naliligtas. Paano po?
When they check their patient, the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they recommend the Bible.
Kaya kapag sinusuri po nila yung kanilang pasyente, nagbabahagi po nila ng 5 o 10 minuto yung Biblia.
And when they have the meeting with the other co-doctor, they recommend listening the Bible.
At kapag sila po ay nakakaroon ng meeting sa ibang mga doktor, sila po ay nakakapagbahagi ng 5 o 10 minuto ng Biblia.
The problem is this, even though he wants, he doesn't have a time to listen the Bible seminar.
Pero ang problema po dito, kahit na gusto niya, wala po siyang oras para makapakinig ng Bible
Then
seminar.
in the lunchtime, they listen, but they don't have a place, so they go to the car, one brother's car, and in the car, they eat the sandwich and listening the cassette tape 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
Kaya kung minsan sa tanghali, nakikinig po sila ng Bible seminar at pumupunta dun sa sasakyan ng isang brother at nakikinig po sila ng 20 minutes habang kumakain.
Then they get salvation.
At naliligtas po sila.
So who can excuse? Because I don't have enough time, so that's why I cannot evangelize. Who can say that?
Kaya sino pong yung kayang makapagdahilan na dahil wala akong oras kaya hindi ako makapag-evangelize?
So going back, the drawing back in partition is not the will of God.
Kaya yung pag-urong po ay hindi po yun yung kalooban po ng Diyos.
I cannot do it because I don't have enough time. This is not the will of God.
Hindi ko kayang gawin yun kasi wala akong oras. Hindi po yun yung kalooban po ng Diyos.
God wants us to go forward and find the way how to evangelize and how to live for God even though we don't have enough time.
Kaya yung ninanais po ng Diyos ay tayo lumakad kahit na wala po tayong sapat na oras.
Tama po ba? So let's do our best. Of course, through one try, we cannot immediately change the situation, but God's will is we do our best to overcome or to find the way to make a balance and to live for God more.
Kaya subukan po natin na gawin ng tama ng pagbalanse ng oras at tutulungan po tayo ng Diyos kung paano po ito dapat gawin.
Tama po ba?